Hey, beautiful people, let's talk about something fierce today. The power of your call. You were not made to just exist, to blend in, or to shrink. No, babe, you were called for something bigger. A dream that keeps you awake, a passion that sets your heart racing, a destiny that's yours and yours alone. Your call is not waiting for permission. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't need 100 likes to be real. It's already alive inside you and inside you. Listen, your call is louder than fear, stronger than doubt, and more resilient than every no you've ever heard. When you step into it, the game changes, the room shifts, the energy rises. You become the force you've been waiting for. But here's the secret. You have to pick up the phone. You have to answer. You have to believe that you were built for the mountains you're about to climb. And girl, when you do, there's no stopping you. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your voice, your flavor, your story. It needs that thing only you carry. Today is not about being perfect. It's about being powerful, about choosing purpose over popularity, courage over comfort, growth over gossip. So go ahead, own it, step up, speak out, shine on, because the power of your call is world changing and the world is so ready for you. Every single person walking this planet has something stitched into their soul that is one of a kind. It's not a random accident or a coincidence. It's intentional. Your call was designed with your voice, your vibe, and your vision in mind. No one else can copy it, and no one else can complete it for you. It's yours like your fingerprint, personal, powerful, and impossible to replicate. Think about it. Even if someone tried to walk exactly in your footsteps, they wouldn't have your life experiences, your battles, your wins, your heartbreaks, your dreams. All of those moments have shaped you into someone who sees the world through a lens no one else owns. That lens is part of your magic. It flavors how you love, how you lead, how you create, and how you show up when it matters most. Too often, we get caught up in comparison, thinking someone else's path looks better, brighter, faster. But the truth is, comparison is the ultimate distraction from your own calling. You weren't made to copy and paste someone else's dream. You were made to build something so original. It makes people stop and say, wow, I didn't even know the world needed that until she showed up. Your uniqueness isn't just a cute detail. It's a full-blown strategy. Every piece of your journey, the highs, the lows, the weird twists you didn't see coming, all of it is fuel for what you're here to do. That messy middle you thought disqualified you, it's actually the secret sauce that makes your call even stronger. Your authenticity is the answer, not the obstacle. When you stand in the fullness of who you are, you give other people silent permission to do the same. It's a ripple effect. Your courage to be exactly who you were created to be sparks something in others, something wild and real that says, if she can show up like that, maybe I can too. That's leadership. That's legacy. And it starts by owning that your call was never meant to look like anyone else's. Your gifts, your voice, your ideas, they might feel different. And that's exactly the point. Difference is your superpower, not your downfall. What feels weird or risky to you might be the very thing the world has been missing. Every time you show up as 100% yourself, you fill a space no one else could ever fill. You leave a mark only you were meant to leave. It's easy to think that blending in is safer. It's not. Blending in erases the very thing that makes you unstoppable. Every time you dull yourself down to fit a mold, you shrink the impact you were born to make. The boldest thing you can ever do is to lean all the way into what makes you you, even when it's scary, even when it's messy, even when no one claps at first. Your call is not optional. It's essential. The world doesn't need another version of someone else. It needs the fierce, fearless, fired up version of you, living the kind of life that only you can. Your call is your crown. Own it like the queen you are. There's this silent lie that too many of us have been trained to believe, that we need someone's permission to go after what's burning inside of us. Maybe it's a parent's approval, a mentor's blessing, society's acceptance, or even the validation of strangers who don't even know the fullness of who we are. But girl, here's the truth. Your purpose was stamped on your soul before anyone else even had an opinion. You don't need a green light from the crowd when the fire has already been lit inside you. Waiting for permission is a slow kind of self-betrayal. It's sitting on the sidelines of your own life, watching other people play the game you were born to dominate. Every second you hesitate, Asking if it's okay to chase your dreams, you're handing over your power to someone else who was never qualified to hold it in the first place. The people who don't understand your calling were never supposed to sign off on it anyway. Permission seeking keeps you small. It convinces you that you need a panel of judges scoring your worth before you move. But you were not built to audition for your own destiny. You don't need to explain yourself, prove yourself, or shrink yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. Your existence is proof enough. Your voice, your vision, and your heart are all the validation you'll ever need. If you're waiting for a clear, perfect moment when everyone claps for you and the road is wide open and smooth, you'll be waiting forever. Purpose doesn't show up with a parade. It shows up with a whisper, a nudge, a deep knowing that refuses to leave you alone. And it dares you to move even when the crowd is silent, even when the only person cheering is the woman you're becoming. The most powerful moves you'll ever make are the ones you make when no one else understands. It's easy to say yes to your dreams when everyone's cheering. It's powerful to say yes when all you have is faith, grit, and a crazy kind of hope that somehow it's all going to work out. Those are the moments that build you. Those are the moments when permission becomes irrelevant because purpose has already spoken louder. You are not too young, too inexperienced, too loud, too quiet, too anything to walk in your purpose right now. There's no gatekeeper standing between you and the life you're meant to live, except the fear that you need permission. And girl, fear doesn't get a vote. Fear doesn't get to run the show. Only your calling does. Only your belief does. Every time you decide to move without asking for approval, you build muscle. You strengthen your spirit. You show the universe, and more importantly yourself, that you are serious about this life you've been given. And every brave step forward becomes a magnet for opportunities, for doors swinging open, for the right people showing up at exactly the right time. You were born ready. The call on your life wasn't attached to a permission slip. It was written straight into your DNA. You are the green light. You are the permission. You are the yes you've been waiting for. Inside every girl is a voice that knows. It's the voice that whispers even when everything around you is loud and confusing. It's the voice that tells you to keep going when fear is screaming at you to quit. That inner voice, the one rooted deep in your gut and your spirit, is more powerful than any fear if you choose to tune into it. The challenge isn't that fear is stronger. It's that sometimes we listen to fear more carefully than we listen to ourselves. Fear loves to shout. It loves to dramatize. It paints big, scary pictures of everything that could go wrong. It plays worst-case scenarios on a loop in your mind. But your inner voice, she's steady. She doesn't panic. She knows what you're capable of. She remembers the promises you made to yourself on the days when you dared to dream without limits. She speaks with a calm authority that fear could never fake. The trick is learning how to turn down the volume of fear and turn up the sound of your truth. It's learning how to recognize that feeling in your chest that says this is right, even when your mind is spinning with doubts. It's about knowing that fear will always have something to say, but it doesn't get the final word. Fear can exist. It just doesn't get to drive the car. Your inner voice doesn't argue. She doesn't beg for attention. She waits for you to get quiet enough to hear her. And the quieter you become, not just outside noise, but the noise of comparison, self-doubt, and insecurity, the louder she speaks. She tells you that you are ready, that you are enough, that you are built for this moment, even if your knees are shaking and your hands aren't steady yet. There's a difference between the voice of fear and the voice of truth. Fear always sounds urgent and desperate. Truth sounds steady and sure. Fear pushes you to rush. Truth gives you permission to rise slowly, confidently, in your own timing. Fear says, what if you fail? Truth says, what if you fly? And every single day, you have the power to decide which one you'll believe. Listening to your inner voice takes practice. Some days it will feel easy, like a song you can't help but sing along to. Other days it'll feel like tuning into a faint radio station in the middle of a storm. But no matter what, the voice is still there. She doesn't give up on you. She's always trying to guide you back to your purpose, back to your power, back to the girl who knew deep down she was made for something wild and beautiful. Choosing to listen to your inner voice over fear is an act of rebellion. It's a radical, everyday revolution against the noise that tries to shrink you. It's standing up in the middle of chaos and saying, I hear myself, and I trust what I hear. It's realizing that the deepest wisdom you'll ever need isn't out there somewhere. It's already living inside you, waiting for you to believe in her. The world will always have loud opinions. Fear will always have a microphone. But the voice that matters most, the one that was built just for you, is already speaking. She's brave, she's wise, she's ready. And when you finally choose to listen to her above everything else, you become unstoppable. Dreaming is beautiful. Vision is necessary. But nothing, absolutely nothing, changes until you move, until you act. Until you decide that your call deserves more than just a spot in your journal or a note on your vision board. Action is the spark that lights up your power. It's the moment you stop just thinking about it and start becoming it. There's something magical that happens when you take even the smallest step toward your purpose. It's like the universe notices your courage and starts shifting things in your favor. Doors you couldn't see before start to crack open. Opportunities you thought were impossible begin to find you. But none of that happens until you make the first move. Power isn't handed to you, it's unlocked by movement. Waiting for the perfect moment is a myth. There will never be a time when you feel 100% ready, 100% confident, and 100% fearless. And guess what? You don't have to be. Your power shows up when you show up. When you act scared, act uncertain, act tired, but act anyway. Motion creates momentum. Courage is built on the go, not from the sidelines. Answering your call doesn't always mean making a giant leap. Sometimes it's sending the email, writing the first page. Speaking up in the room, showing up to the meeting even though your hands are shaking. It's not the size of the step that matters. It's the fact that you dared to step at all. Tiny moves repeated boldly build unstoppable power over time. The longer you hesitate, the heavier your dreams start to feel. What once lit you up starts to weigh you down. Doubt loves to grow in the space between intention and action. Every day you delay answering your call, fear gets louder and your dreams feel further away. But every day you move, even clumsily, even imperfectly, you send a clear message to fear, I'm not waiting anymore. Power isn't found in talking about your goals. It's found in living them, acting on them, fighting for them even when no one is watching, even when no one is clapping. The real magic happens in the moments no one sees. When you choose the hard thing, the brave thing, the right thing for your future self. Your call doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be present, to say yes when it's scary, to start even when you're unsure, to move even when the destination isn't clear yet. Trust that action will teach you things preparation never could. Every move you make shows you more of who you are and what you're capable of. The dream doesn't happen because you wish for it. The dream happens because you work for it, stand up for it, breathe life into it day after day. When you answer the call, when you move from thought into action, you don't just change your life, you activate your power. You become the living proof that dreams aren't just possible. They're inevitable when you dare to move. It's easy to look around and feel like your story doesn't fit. Like it's too messy, too complicated, too different to matter. But the truth is, your story is your superpower. Every twist, every heartbreak, every win, every failure, all of it has shaped you into someone with a voice and a view that nobody else has. Your story isn't less valuable because it looks different. It's valuable because it looks different. In a world that tries so hard to make everyone the same, your differences are the very thing that set you apart. No one else has lived your exact life. No one else has felt your dreams the way you have. No one else can tell the world what you've seen, what you've survived, or what you believe in the way you can. That means your story carries a kind of beauty and authority that no copycat version ever could. Sometimes the parts of your story you're most tempted to hide are the parts that will connect you the most. People don't fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with realness. They're drawn to honesty, to cracks where the light shines through. Your story isn't meant to be polished until it's unrecognizable. It's meant to be raw, real, and unapologetically yours. Your authenticity is the bridge that brings people closer, not your ability to look like everyone else. Comparison will try to convince you that your story isn't enough, that someone else's path, smoother, faster, prettier, is more worthy of being told. But no one can walk the road you've walked. No one can see the world through your exact lens. Your story is not a competition. It's a contribution. And the world is richer, deeper, and stronger because of it. You don't have to wait until your story looks finished to start sharing it. You don't have to wait until you have a perfect success story with a neat little bow on top. Someone needs to hear the middle of your story, the messy parts, the confusing parts, the parts where you're still figuring it out. Because when you show up in your realness, you give others permission to keep going too. You remind them they're not alone. The way you overcame that setback, the lesson you learned the hard way, the way you loved even after being hurt, that matters, that heals, that inspires. Your story might look ordinary to you because you lived it, but to someone else, your survival, your resilience, your creativity, your kindness could be the exact proof they needed that they're going to make it too. There's a sacred kind of power in refusing to hide, in standing tall in your truth, even when it's vulnerable, even when it's scary. When you tell your story without shame, you turn your past into a weapon for your future. You turn your experiences into a source of hope, connection, and strength for people you may never even meet. You were never meant to fit into someone else's mold. You were meant to break it wide open. So that's to break it wide open. Your story matters, not because it's perfect, but because it's yours. And every time you choose to own it instead of hiding it, you leave a mark on the world that no one else could ever duplicate.